And we are live. So welcome everyone into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast morning show. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burlyman Gaming. It is Friday, January 14th, 2022. Another Friday edition. Burley, how you doing, man? Good morning.
I'm doing good. Unfortunately, it's started to go back down into the negatives for Canada for cold weather.
It's always in the negatives in Canada in January. Come on, man.
No, actually, yesterday it was +1.
Oh, okay, +1.
Hey, today it's -6. Today it's -6. At least it's like not -16 like we have been having, but it was like it's still cold. You can tell the difference when you're getting out of my apartment building and then going out on the street. You're like, oh yeah, we're still
right now. Right now in Japan, it's 2 degrees. 2 degrees Celsius. So, yeah. And all of you in America who, are the only ones in the world that actually go by Fahrenheit, it's 36 degrees. I mean, it's like America. I mean, I love my country. I'm originally from America, obviously. But I mean, it's like, just go by the metric system. America always has to be the only country in the world that has to be different from everybody else. It's like you drive on the right side of the road, you go by Fahrenheit, you go by pounds and ounces, where everybody else in the world goes by kilograms or centimeters or Celsius. Anyway, that's my Friday rant, Burley. Not much of a rant, but anyway, hey, it's Friday. It's like you got to get into it.
So you're gonna rant on this, but not on any of the topics we'll be doing shortly.
Oh,
okay, good.
Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, speaking of the topics we're going to be talking about, because this is a gaming news podcast, Burley. So we're going to be talking about another stealth drop release for Game Pass. Man, it's just everything is coming to Game Pass. It's like everything in the kitchen sink is coming to Game Pass. It's amazing. We're going to be talking about what game or games are coming to Game Pass. Also, Burley, the Steam Deck. It looks like you're going to get your wish, man. It looks like your wish is going to come true. The Steam Deck is going to be releasing soon. We're going to talk about that. And then our last story, finally, Microsoft, they're discontinuing the Xbox One consoles. So we're going to be talking about that. Nani? Nandesu ka? No. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. So that's for all of our Japanese friends and listeners and viewers out there. So Nani? In English, that means what? So, but let's check the chat. We have a chat message here. So, NWH. Hello, guys. Do you remember me? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We remember that Spider-Man live stream that we did, and you can see that on our YouTube channel, which we are broadcasting to live here right now. So, yes. So, thank you so much for coming in, NWH. So, all right. Let's go to the first story, but before we do that, it's time for some coffee. Burley, pop out the coffee, man.
Okay, coffee button hit.
All right, so our first story here. Hitman Trilogy coming to Game Pass. And PC Game Pass next week. Burley, what do you think of this, man? Another stealth drop. We're getting the entire trilogy, man. What do you think?
I'm loving this, and I told you because you're like, you were thinking. I was saying like, we either gonna get a Hitman Trilogy pack soon enough, or this will come to Game Pass. This is great because now I have an easy way I can play these games. just sit and go back and go, because I've never played these trilogy. I want to try, so hey, I can just try out Game Pass. I love this that Microsoft is just getting stuff like this. Get it out on Game Pass. Get it in more people's hands.
Yeah, and all the season 2 stuff's going to be coming with it too. It's amazing, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So you're really going to get your content. Value.
Yeah, and all those contracts and everything. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read this. So let me scroll down here. So Hitman Trilogy coming to Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass next week. So this is from Polygon.com and Samir Sarkar. I think that's how you pronounce it. So forgive me if I am mispronouncing it. So Hitman 3 developer IO Interactive is celebrating the game's first birthday on January 20th in a big way, starting with the release of the Hitman Trilogy, which will debut in the Game Pass library on both Windows PC and Xbox, the studio announced Thursday. Now, Burley, before I go on with this story, there's been some rumors and there's been some talk online that this could be a possible studio that Microsoft could acquire in IO Interactive. What do you think?
I could see them making the bid and trying. Mm-hmm. Can't hurt. Like Microsoft's whole thing is get all these studios, get as many as you can.
Yeah.
And just get them in. And if they get them in and all their stuff's coming to Game Pass, it's just going to keep me subscribed to Game Pass.
Yeah. The bundle includes all 3 games in the World of Assassination Trilogy, 2016's Hitman, 2018's Hitman 2, and 2021's Hitman 3. And it will also be released the same day on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. The PC version of the trilogy and of Hitman 3 itself will be available via Steam as well as the Epic Games Store, since the game's 1-year exclusivity agreement with the Epic Games Store will end as of January 20th. IO did not announce a price for the trilogy. We've reached out, so Polygon reached out to them for comment, but they haven't heard back yet. So Hitman 3 is also coming to another new platform on January 20th, PC Virtual Reality. The VR mode has thus far been available exclusively on PlayStation VR, support for which is limited to the PlayStation 4 version of the game. Now Hitman 3 PC players, whether on Steam or the Epic Games Store, will be able to check out the entire world of the Assassination Trilogy in VR, if they own the first 2 games on PC as well as Hitman 3. So, yeah. So not only are console players going to get the whole trilogy, you're going to be able to play it in VR mode as well. Not only on PlayStation VR, but on PC. So, Burley, did you play any of the Hitman games?
I haven't, none of this trilogy, but I've played previous Hitman games back on like the original Xbox kind of era. Mm-hmm. It's been years since I played a Hitman game. We got Carl in our chat, the other co-host, saying Project Dragon, and then the little dragon emote. Yeah.
So Carl is one of our other co-hosts on The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, which we will be recording tomorrow, episode 69. And our topic of the show, as we talked about yesterday on the morning show, will be 100+ hour games. What are our favorites? Are we completionists in any certain type of game? So we're going to be discussing that tomorrow. So Carl will be with us for that. So,
Carl, you got to read Carl's comment there. I'll let you read this one.
I have over 100 hours in Hitman on PSVR. No, you don't.
Okay, take the screenshot and prove it to us.
Oh, hell no.
That's a load of crap, Carl. That's funny. That is funny, man. We're going to get you for that one tomorrow. So anyway, shout out to Carl. So thank you so much for joining us again. So, and NWH, tell us if you have a game that you've played for over 100+ hours. We'd really like to know. So let us know in the comments if you have. So, but anyway, I played 2016's Hitman, but I didn't get a chance to play, 2 or 3. So I'm really looking forward to downloading this and getting to them. So I remember that one contract hit on, what was it, on Gary Busey, when they had the Gary Busey hit. That was pretty fun. Yeah. I mean,
because who doesn't want to kill Gary Busey?
I mean, just out of fun in a video game, obviously, of course, but
yes, fun in a video game, not in real life at all.
Yeah, not in real life, but yeah. So, yeah. Alrighty. So, yeah. I mean, this is just, I can't say this enough. I mean, just Game Pass is just running on all cylinders, and I'm really excited to talk about it more tomorrow because, now you've got Hitman coming. I mean, there's so much that's just stealthily dropping onto the service. It's amazing. So the beginning of this year, so you've got Hitman Trilogy and Rainbow Six Extraction coming out on the same day to Game Pass. That's amazing. So yeah. All right. Okay, Burley. So we're going to talk about Steam Deck now, and I'm going to let you run with that one because you have a pre-ordered Steam Deck. Yeah. Is that correct?
That I do.
Yes. Yep. We'll get to that, but first, Burley, get out the remote control. It's time for the drone flight. All right. So right after Burley flies the drone in, we will get to our Steam Deck story. Right after this.
Launching drone.
Nice landing, Burley, as usual. Yeah, so Burley has been practicing his flying skills on Judgment, the game, and now he's doing it on our morning show as well.
Yep. You know what also helps with drone flying? Spiritual opium.
Yes.
The real sponsor of the arena.
The unofficial sponsor of the arena, Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show. Yeah. So, yeah, because Burley's got to have his morning shots of spiritual opium. That's for sure. All right. So let's get into this, Burley. So this is from George Yang over at IGN. It looks like the Steam Deck will release on time. So Valve has announced that its Steam Deck handheld is on track to ship on time in February, following its previous delay late last year. Additionally, Valve is sending out more developer kits to studios to help test their games for the Steam Deck. Quote, first and foremost, we're on track to ship Steam Deck on time. Global pandemic, supply issues, and shipping issues notwithstanding, it looks like we'll be able to start getting these out the door by the end of February, end quote, Valve said in a statement. So, Burley, take it away. Are we getting it at the end of February?
I think so. If Valve's confident to say at this point they can do it, mm-hmm. I have faith in them.
Yep.
Because you really you have to be dumb to say you can't get them out at this point. Like to say, we're going to get them out at this point, and then a few weeks later say, well, we can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to feel confident in them saying that they can do this. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait. I'm not in the first batch. I'm second quarter. Mm-hmm. But I do have one pre-ordered. I have the middle unit pre-ordered, so I do have the SSD mm-hmm. instead of just the little flash storage in there.
Yeah.
The 256. So I'm really looking forward to this device. Mm-hmm. This potentially could be a Switch killer. Because think about it, you already have a giant library of Steam games to take them on the go, and it's going to have the same battery life like a Switch.
I still can't see it being a Switch killer because, Nintendo with all of their first party titles, everybody's going to play Switch for that.
Well, yeah, you're going to get that, but you know what I mean? Like, this is the first thing that can directly compete and take some sales out of the Switch. I think we can all agree.
Obviously.
Maybe Switch killer is the wrong thing to say. Let me retrace my words on that.
Yeah.
I do like I love I love that they're giving you a carrying case with this. They're not like Nintendo or everyone else with a handheld where you bought our thing, you now got to go spend another $20 to $40 and get yourself a case.
Yeah.
Because the day I got my Switch, I remember literally after playing with it for a while and all that, I remember going to a Best Buy because me and my buddy went to go see Logan.
Yeah.
And they had the Breath of the Wild little case thing. So I bought one of those and something else. It's like, it's just like, come on. I like that they're doing this, but if you've ever seen the original packaging that they've said that's coming to show this, it is the worst thing ever. Like, it's minimalist, which I like. It's not a giant bulky thing, but it's just like a basic cardboard box that says Steam Deck. Like, they didn't do much. I just threw the thing in and threw the charger in. It was like, really?
Right.
But I'm hoping to see how well this does and comes out.
Yeah.
Like, I know Japan is not getting this. You guys aren't.
Not for a while. Not for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if we even get it in 2022. I mean, obviously, we could probably, buy them on Amazon, like international, have them shipped internationally out here. But I mean, not many people are going to know about them. That's the problem. It's not going to be marketed out here. So because this is Switch territory, you know what I mean, Burley. Yeah. It's going to be difficult for people to get any kind of advertising on a Steam Deck, where all the advertising is going to be dominated by the Switch out here in Japan.
Well, don't worry. The good folks on eBay and the good scalpers, I can't even go with the rest of the thoughts on that. Fuck scalpers, but like. Yeah. This I'm really interested to see how well this is going to do, and how well the compatibility is, because that's key. And you can, I think people have like dev units have said, you can put on Epic, so you have access to the Epic library, and Steam now has RetroArch is a part of it, so you can have emulators on the way to go. This thing is quite powerful.
Yeah.
So you can have a decent amount of emulation, not to mention your Steam library. So this thing, and you do have the SD card. And they showed, I think when they did the one test where they were showing like control and stuff, they just didn't outright say it so well. But they said some of those games that they were showing were running off the SD card to show you, if you have stuff on the SD card, do not worry. You're going to get still quite great performance from it.
Right.
And Valve is going back right now to all their games and getting it Steam Deck ready, like making updates so that way, if you do buy this, you're going to have a good experience with Portal 2.
Half-Life, there's going to be hopefully no compatibility issues or anything like that. So.
Well, with Valve first party, there won't be. You're going to have compatibility issues with this. Like, if you're expecting to... If you're expecting to run like Crisis on Ultra, get your head out of your ass. That ain't happening. And
turn-based Carl. Yeah, I was going to say this, Burley. Okay, so Carl says in the chat, a Steam Deck is easily beat by a comparable gaming laptop with a controller.
You're not going to, as a guy that has had a gaming laptop in the past, you're not getting a gaming laptop for these kind of prices. Or if you're getting one, you're not getting the specs you think that are similar to this. Like, Valve is not really making money on this. They're taking a loss on this. Like, these units. It's more just to sell more in the library and get the hardware out there. But like, I get it. I want to know what's the pricing in the dock, because I want to pre-order a dock.
Yeah.
Like, I know they said anyone will work, but I'd rather get, the Valve one with this. So I know it'll work, and it'll have its own separate charger that I know that will charge. There's no weird thing because I got to get the voltage right and all that. I'd rather just go with the official, then there's no problems.
Right. Yeah, I'd really like to get my hands on one. We shall see. Hopefully I'll be able to get one in 2022, but if I have to wait a year or so, then I'll wait a year. But yeah, eventually they'll be out here in Japan, but we shall see. So
well, and when I do get mine, we will do an early impressions video. And if
that's
go back to our YouTube, we did do when this thing first got announced, the stealth announce on this.
Yes,
there is a good little funny bit between me and Expat when this thing came out that
Right.
For those that haven't seen it, I know you'll get a good little chuckle and laugh.
Yeah. So it's on our YouTube channel at The Arena Production, so you can go check it out there. So, yeah, go to our gaming news announcements playlist, and you'll see the Steam Deck. You'll see the Steam Deck thumbnail for that, and just check that out. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, Burley, you ready to move on? Let's go ahead and move on to our final story of the week. So we're going to be talking about Xbox one more time, because there's been a lot of news with PlayStation and Xbox this week. But yeah, looks like the Xbox Ones are going to be discontinued now. So we'll get to that right after this brief segue. Okay? Alrighty, so our final story of the week, we're going to be talking about the Xbox One. So Microsoft has discontinued all Xbox One consoles. So Microsoft has focused on Xbox Series X and Series S throughout 2021. So this is from TheVerge.com and Tom Warren. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of this story for you. Okay. So let me go ahead and scroll down. I'm going to scroll down here. So Microsoft has stopped manufacturing all Xbox One consoles. The software giant originally discontinued the Xbox One X and digital Xbox One S ahead of the Xbox Series X launch, then quietly stopped manufacturing the Xbox One S at the end of 2020, leaving retailers to sell out their remaining stock. Quote, to focus on production of Xbox Series X and S, we stopped production for all Xbox One consoles by the end of 2020, end quote, says Cindy Walker, Senior Director of Xbox Console Product Marketing, in a statement that was given to The Verge. Microsoft's confirmation comes just as a Bloomberg report suggested Sony had planned to end PS4 production at the end of 2021, but that the company will now manufacture around 1 million PS4 consoles in 2022. Now, Burley and I and Carl, we're going to be talking about this as one of the topics of the podcast for tomorrow. So we're not going to discuss that particular story so much. We're just going to focus on the Xbox Ones being discontinued here. So, yeah, but Sony had confirmed the PS4 production is going to be still ongoing amid struggles by both Microsoft and Sony to meet demand for their latest Xbox Series X and PS5 consoles. So, yeah, I mean, Burley, I think this was, yeah, I mean, we saw this coming.
Yeah.
I mean, with what Microsoft and what they're doing now and what they're focusing on, we knew that they were going to discontinue the Xbox One console series eventually. What do you think of this?
This is no surprising, and it's a nice little parallel to what happened with what Sony's doing. I know we're not going into what Sony's doing, but I just figured I'd say that quickly. We all saw this coming. Microsoft is in a different market than Sony is.
Right.
Their whole thing is get you into Game Pass.
Yes.
Their thing is not necessarily of getting you to buy all the games.
Yeah.
That would they love for you to buy Game Pass and buy the games? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That could be stupid with the money, but
right.
let's be honest. Microsoft thing is get you into their ecosystem and just playing their games. They don't want to keep selling 7 different Xbox models.
Right.
They want to just sell the Series S and Series X, and then just sell you Game Pass. And if you're a PC player only, just sell you Game Pass or PC or Game Pass Ultimate and hope you'll buy a Series S or a Series X.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, it had its run. I mean, I think, Microsoft is doing the right thing with this. And we'll talk about this more on the podcast episode, the weekly episode that we record tomorrow. But, I mean, they're focusing on Game Pass and all. And, of course, there was also the story this week, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later when we record the weekly podcast that, Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S has now outsold their previous console generations at the point of sales at this time period in their point of sales history. So, hats off to them for, getting a lot out the door, especially with all the issues with chip shortages and everything else. PlayStation's, that's affecting them as well too. But yeah, I don't know. I had an Xbox One X, and when I got the Series X, I went ahead and I sold it to one of my Japanese students, because I'm like, hey, you can get Game Pass with this, and he got the subscription to Game Pass, and he's enjoying the One X, which is still a good console, the S and the X. I mean, it still plays all of the new games coming out. You could play Halo Infinite on it, but I think it's time to move on from it, and I'm not surprised, like we said earlier. So.
Oh yeah. This is no shock to anyone. And Carl's like, they discontinued at the end of 2020. It's only a news story because of PS4 news. Yeah, it's mostly because of that. I will heavily agree with you, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got rid of because I just had the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I got rid of mine, and then a few months later, I picked up the S.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it just because it's just a small form factor box that I can just throw in, and I don't have to, I'm not putting discs in. I can just, hey, right. Game Pass. Oh, this is on Game Pass. Download, play, remove.
Right. Alrighty. So, Burley, what are you going to be playing and streaming this weekend?
Probably. I don't know if there will be streams this weekend. It's my mother's birthday.
Oh, so happy birthday to your mom! Yeah.
So. Thanks. So yeah, like things are just weird because of COVID, and we're trying to figure out scheduling of what to do. You can't really do a whole lot because now like restaurants are down to I think 4 people at a table. So it's like, and we're not going to go out. Let's be honest, we're not going to go out. But it's like trying to choose because my mom's like, oh, I don't know if I want to get food here. These people won't like that. It's like, just get what you want.
Right.
And so there's that whole debacle right now. But if I do stream Sunday, it'll be Persona 5 Strikers. If not, if I come back Monday, probably either Horizon or Persona, because I'm just alternating between them.
Yeah. Well, like I said on the last episode of the weekly podcast, I finished Halo Infinite. So I came back to streaming this last week, and I streamed Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I might continue with Shadow of the Tomb Raider a little bit. I've beaten the game before, but I wanted to live stream it for all of you. So I might play a little bit more of that. I'm just waiting for Hitman Trilogy to come out, as well as Rainbow Six Extraction. I want to try those games, and some other titles on Game Pass that are in my backlog, Burley. Lots of backlog stuff, so as usual. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so week 2 in the books, Burley. Yeah. So that's another week of the morning show. So obviously you can catch us also on our Patreon. If you come to our Patreon, you can get all of our content, the podcast, the post show, our extra take supplemental episodes for the podcast, our Star Wars shows, our Marvel shows, lots and lots of content that we make over on Patreon at patreon.com/thearena_podcast, where if you become a patron and support our content, obviously you get all of our content in early access and ad-free before it goes public to any of the podcast services or to our YouTube channel. So, consider checking us out. And if you like what you see, become a patron and support Burley and I and Carl and all of the content that we make over on Patreon. And of course, the morning show goes up to our YouTube channel and to our Twitch channel and to Twitter as well in a live feed. And then if you missed the feed, of course, you can watch it as a video on demand on Twitter and on our Twitch and YouTube channels as well. So.
Yep.
All right. So that's going to do it for us. So I hope all of you, and as well as Burley, we hope all of you have a great morning and a great weekend. And of course, episode 69 of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, will be recorded tomorrow. And then we'll go up to Patreon for 1 day in early access. And then the audio version will go public to free podcast services. And the video version will go up to our YouTube channel. But if you become a patron, obviously, for 1 day in early access, you get the video and the audio versions in early access and ad-free. So anyway, we hope to catch you for the next edition of the morning show on Monday. So next Monday. But until then, have a great weekend, everybody. So
have a great weekend,
your host,
everyone.
Expat, and for my co-host, Burley of Burleman Gaming on Twitch, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Peace out. Burley, cut the feed.
Cutting as fast as I can. I need better cutting scissors.